Hi guys, it's Miriam, and today I'm going to be talking about Along for the Ride by Sarah Dessen. And just before we start, I know I look the same as I did in one of my previous videos. It's because I recorded these the same day. So this book is about a girl named Auden, and she's had trouble sleeping since her parents got divorced. And she goes to stay with her dad for the summer in this beach town called Colby, and she meets a fellow asthmatic named Eli, and things get a little crazy. So this book definitely made me want to go to the beach. It made me want to meet new people, have new adventures, and it was a pretty fun book. It wasn't the best book I've ever read, but I will definitely be reading more of Sarah Dessen's books. So I would recommend it just for a try if you've read some of Sarah Dessen's books, because this is the first one I've read. So if you read some more of hers and you found one that was really good, let me know in the comments. So if you haven't read this, bye. To start off, Auden has some pretty crappy parents. Her dad is horrible. Her mom is such a snob. Hetty was such a relief. Like, she was normal. She was just normal. She wasn't crazy and insane and everything has to be perfect in my way and we're gonna get a divorce because I'm doing better in my career than you. So in the beginning, Hollis was definitely one of my favorite characters. Even though he wasn't in it that much in the beginning, he started kind of losing his spark, I think, for me when he came to Colby and he was with Laura, who, by the way, is insane. I didn't like him that much then. I liked the idea that he was all fun and he wanted to explore and he didn't want to tie himself down with commitment just yet. And then when he thought that he wanted to, and he really did, and he was serious about it, I don't know, he just kind of lost the spark for me. I didn't like him as a character as much. Okay, so like I said, Laura is really weird. I don't know why anyone would want to... Why Hollis? Why would Hollis, of all people, want to be with her? She was weird. Like, oh god, no, that one scene with her was very uncomfortable whenever they met. That just, like, at first I thought the mom was just being her normal snobby self, but Laura really is creepy and weird. Okay, let's just slow down. First things first, what do you mean you don't have a date? Just that. Jason bailed on me. Again? When? About 20 minutes ago. Oh my god. That's the worst thing ever. No. It's actually not. No. The worst thing is that right afterwards, I marched right into the bike shop to ask Eli to go with me, and he said no. I don't know, this might be like my favorite quote from... No, this is definitely my favorite quote from the book. I realize now why Maggie was so sure I'd be leaving with more than a bike at the end of summer. Because it was obvious, this true difference in me now. I had these experiences, these tales, more of this life. So maybe it wasn't the fairy tale. But those stories weren't real anyway. Mine were. I just love that, because life isn't going to be perfect. It's not going to be exactly how you planned it. It's not going to be Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty and Snow White and all these fairy tales that we dreamed up as children. Things are going to happen, and they're going to be good, and they're going to be bad, and you're going to laugh, and you're going to cry. And life is just a fairy tale within itself, you know? Your stories are true, they happen, and so they matter. So my only complaints really about the book, I felt like... So I understand Abe died, and Eli was crushed, and he felt horrible about it, and he wasn't really himself. But one, I felt that Eli was a really bland character. I thought just no emotion, blank face, the whole book. He just didn't strike me as a person. I mean, he had no emotion. He didn't express his feelings. He was just weird. I just felt that he was weird. Two, we skipped out on a few scenes that I really wanted to see. I thought we should have went into detail about the beach bash, because we were planning that for a while, and I was getting really excited, you know, prom, second chances, this is going to be great, and then we didn't even get to read about it. I was so excited for it. It's like all over again in the Beautiful Creatures movie when we think we're going to get to see the winter formal, and we don't get to see it! And three, Jason. I didn't feel like Jason was needed in this story. So we hear about him, we know that he bailed on her first prom, he stood her up, and then we know that he bailed on her at the beach bash again. So he's kind of repetitive, always the same, they weren't meant to be. You know, a second chance didn't matter for them because they didn't even need a first, they didn't even get a first. And we get these couple scenes where Auden's like, you know what, I don't need Eli anymore, forget him. You know, I'm just gonna go hang out with Jason. And so we know that she went to get coffee with him, we know that she went to dinner with him, but we didn't get a read about it. We just know that it happened. But we don't really get that feeling like Auden's done with Eli, she's gonna move on to Jason because she's done with Eli's crap. We don't get that because we don't get to read about Jason. He's mentioned, he's there, but Auden doesn't really care about him, and Jason obviously doesn't care about Auden that much. He's just really annoying. So I don't feel like Jason was even needed in the story. I think it could have worked better if he wasn't in the book, or if maybe he was in it more. Also, the fourth thing that kind of bothers me, I didn't really like how her mom kept coming to the beach town. I didn't like how her mom kept coming to Colby. I thought that was really irritating because I thought Auden was going to get away from everything for a while, going to Colby, trying something different. I didn't like the fact that her mom kept coming and kept interrupting this little beach story that we were having. It bothered me, honestly. I didn't really like that. Her father is just really a horrible person. I don't like him. If I got to think out the rest of this story in my head, I think Hetty and him are probably divorced at this moment because he doesn't want to try. At the very end, we find out that this isn't a permanent breakup. This is just, we need a break from each other. But how his character is portrayed, I don't believe that they are going to get back together. I think they're going to stay broken up. I think he's going to make another break for it and he's going to run because that's the kind of character he is. And he doesn't seem to have changed. Throughout the whole book, he's the same. People, they can't stay the same forever. They have to change, and I don't feel like he changed. I feel like he's the same. So overall, it was a pretty good book. The ending was cute, although I liked it. I liked how Maggie and Auden went to college together, and I like how they're still in touch with everyone back in Colby. So overall, it was a pretty good book. I don't know if I would recommend this one, but I'm definitely going to read more of Sarah Dessen's books and see what I think about those. So have you read this book? What were your thoughts? Have you read any other ones of her books? What were your thoughts on those? Leave a comment, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.